Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for the Gnome Dies Animal Add Ons Assembly video. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's brand new Gnome Dies Animal Add Ons along with their Girl Gnome Dies and their Gnome Dies. I'm also using P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones along with Doodlebug-Gingham Linen. I'm using Echo Park's 6-inch Magical Adventure and Doodlebug's Fun at the Park 6-inch pad. So first I cut out the little silhouettes out of American Crafts black cardstock, and then this polka dot paper is from the sorry, I'm grabbing my pad here, from the Fun at the Park 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. The face is cut from P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones. Remember, you can get that over at the Jaded Blossom store. So you always start with the dress for this one. I'm going to put together a little mouse, a little magical mouse, right? So the base piece was cut out of American Crafts cardstock. Then the hat was cut from the Echo Park Magical Adventure 6-inch pad. I believe that's what it's called. Now I'm adding the ears. Those were cut from American Crafts black cardstock again. There we go. Just lining them up using my Barely Art glue. The little bow was cut from paper from Doodlebug's Fun at the Park again, 6-inch pad. So I'm just layering that over the hat. Now I'm going to add on the center. There we go. Isn't this fun? Super cute, right? Now you have to do some gnome surgery. So I'm just going to cut off her base hat a little bit. And then we will add some glue to that leftover piece, that leftover hat. Remember, you're going to want to overlap the top of the face die a little bit. There we go. Isn't that cute? Now I have these two white pieces that were cut from American Crafts white cardstock, and I'm going to layer that on the hat. They look like a famous mouse's little pants, right? It's kind of fun. Next, we are going to add on, this is American Crafts yellow cardstock. So we're going to give her some blonde hair, just because I thought it would pop with what we have going on. There we go. And then I will add bows that are cut from that same Doodlebug Fun at the Park 6-inch pad. It's just kind of like a red on red pattern. It has little hearts on it, which is fun. There we go. And next we are going to add on the little tail. This was cut out of that same American Crafts black cardstock. Just adding with a little bit of Barely Art glue. And using my reverse tweezers as per usual. I'm pulling out some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals for the feet. These are the big ones. We're going to give her some bare feet in a moment. These little polka dots were cut out of American Crafts white cardstock as well. I'll be using those on the bow in a minute here. So the little feet are on. And I'm going to pop up his or her little nose with the Stampin' Up! Small Dimensionals. That's cut out of that same P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones. Isn't she cute? Now I'm going to add on those polka dots, I believe, onto her little bow. So just randomly. Remember, they don't have to be even or look the same on both sides. I just think it adds, makes it look a little bit more interesting. There we go. So I'm just adding on these little dots. Like I said, just cut from white American Crafts cardstock. There, I'm going to add my last two that I have. And oops. Messing with my iPad. So there we go. So now I'm going to put together her cheese. So I cut that out of American Crafts black cardstock, and then again out of yellow cardstock from American Crafts. There. This is just kind of the base piece. Doesn't really matter. I cut it out of the same color both times, and then I cut it out of a darker yellow American Crafts cardstock, and that's just for the holes in the cheese. And I'm just going to fill those in just like a puzzle. So remember, you could make this piece of cheese without the hands. So if you wanted it on your card, but no one, and having no one hold it, that would be perfectly fine as well. So there we go. And then I'm going to pop up the little hands that were cut from that same P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones with those miniature Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. There we go. So did I mention I same as always, that's on an A2 size card base there. Same as always, working on a Stampin' Up! Pad using my Anna Griffin Empress machine for all my die cutting, reverse tweezers, embellishment wand, all that stuff. Barely art glue. So next I have my gnome cut out of American Crafts black cardstock. That doesn't matter, it doesn't show. Then yellow cardstock for the beard. Then I cut his little hat out of Doodlebug-Gingham Linen. I used the linen side in gray. So this is going to be a little elephant. So there we go. Just making sure it's stuck down well. And his little mustache cut out of that same yellow cardstock. So you're going to put it just below the hat. And the little nose I'm going to glue flat because that elephant trunk is going to be coming from the top of his hat. He's kind of wearing an elephant hat. So you don't want that to kind of impede what's going on. So first I cut this little earpiece out of American Crafts black cardstock, but like I always say, it doesn't show. You could use whatever you like. Next, I'm adding on the ears, the elephant ears. These are cut from Doodlebug's-Gingham Linen on the gingham side. Next, I'm adding on the pale peony paper tray ink cardstock pink inner ears. There we go. And I did cut the trunk out twice, once out of American Crafts cardstock, once out of the gingham linen from Doodlebug. I just wanted it to be a little bit thicker because that's going to be kind of, popped up a little bit. Next, the tail is cut out of gingham linen again from Doodlebug, and then the tip of the tail was cut out of paper tray ink Smoky Shadow. There we go. And I do weight it down with an acrylic block. Next, I'm going to put together the little feet. There we go, cut it of white cardstock and then gingham linen. I use the linen side from Doodlebug. So I'm just layering those down. And then I'm going to use the little cut pieces to add the little toenails on. Oops. Trying to pay attention here. So these are going to be for the little elephant feet. Now you could skip these. You don't have to put elephant feet on him. It's kind of like a person's dressed up as an elephant and he's wearing elephant slippers, right? It's kind of fun. You could use just normal feet and he could just be wearing an elephant hat. That would also be super cute. So I'm just adding on these little white toenails. And like I said, however you want to make these things, you can make them however you want. Remember that these are just guidelines, right? I kind of make them how Jaded Blossom envisions them, and you can make them however you'd like. So there we go. Now I'm going to pop up those elephant feet with a Stampin' Up! Dimensional again. There we go. These are kind of big, right? Oops, and I realized I didn't line things up very well. So you can always use scissors to fix that. Okay, so next I'm going to add on these little elephant ears, or I guess you'd call them big elephant ears, right? I'm just using some score tape. There we go. Isn't that cute? Next, we're going to add on the little accessories onto this hat. But I first have to get the tusks in place that were cut from American Crafts white cardstock. So I'm just going to add those to each side of the hat there. And there we go. And then I'm going to add on this little trunk because how cute is that? There. And then his little tail as well using some score tape. There. And that's cute. Okay, so next I'm going to put together the little peanut that I cut out of paper tray ink or no, sorry, yeah, Paper Tray Ink dark chocolate cardstock, American Crafts kind of a beige cardstock, and then American Crafts black cardstock for the base. Remember, you don't have to put the peanut on a base and use the hands if you don't want your gnome holding it. You could just decorate your card with the peanut if you want, right? So I'm just lining that up. There we go. And then I'll pop up the hands, like I said, with those little miniature Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And using those same P13 stamping pad skin tones for the hands. So pretty easy. There we go. And you can have your elephant holding it. Now I'm going to put together the little eyes cut out of, I believe that's Doodlebug brown cardstock that I used there. I'm just going to add that to my list. Sorry for the rustling. I also use that for the mane of the lion when I put the lion together. So these are the little eyes cut out of white American Crafts cardstock and then that Doodlebug brown cardstock. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't like the eyes. I will probably use little enamel dots. I just think that'll look cuter and be a little easier. But there you go. I think they kind of look like angry eyes, right? So that's it on an A2 size card front. Okay, so next we're going to put together another one of these little gnomes. So first cut out of American Crafts black cardstock, and then you see me adding the white daisy ink around the edges of the beard. That's Bazzill dark brown cardstock. And I'm just going to stick them down. Remember, with the boy gnomes, you always want to start with the beard. So we're going to line up the beard first. There. And next, I do weight it down. And next, we're going to put together this little lion head, which is adorable. So the first piece is cut from Doodlebug's brown cardstock. And then this is kind of like a yellowy orange cardstock from American Crafts. So it's like a dark yellowy orange color. There we go. Then this little muzzle was cut from kind of like a cream colored cardstock from that, what's it called? It's called Die Cuts with a View Safari Kids cardstock Matstack. Now you can use whatever you like though. You don't have to use what I use. Next we're adding on the dark chocolate nose from Paper Tray Ink. And then I'm going to add the two little eyes cut from American Crafts black cardstock, using my embellishment wand to pick them up because these are tiny little pieces. There, and isn't this a cute little lion hat? Next, I'm going to add on the ears, cut out of that same kind of yellowy orange cardstock from American Crafts, or dark yellow. And then I will add on the little pink inner ears cut from Paper Tray Ink Pale Peony cardstock. There we go. And look at that. Isn't that a super cute lion? It's adorable. And now we will add that to the top of my gnome. Remember, there's some gnome surgery cutting off the top of that hat. Next, I'm going to add some glue onto that hat remnant there. And then that lion lines up with the top of the beard perfectly. So just line that up. There we go. And then I'm going to add my little mustache on, and I will glue that flat with that Barely Art glue. And then I will pop up the nose with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, the miniature ones. There we go. So now I'm popping up that little nose, and isn't he cute? Next, I'm going to put together the tail cut out of that same kind of dark orange, or kind of dark orangey yellow cardstock. And then that same Doodlebug brown cardstock. And I'm going to stick that to the back of this gnome with some score tape again. There we go, just getting it in place before I get my feet on. Next, I'm just going to pop on, I have two little paws. Now remember, you could skip that part and just put on some cute little bare feet to make it look like he's wearing a hat and a tail. But we're going to put together his paws, cut from dark chocolate cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and then again out of that same American Crafts, you know, darky orangey yellow color. I don't have the colors. I never do for the American Crafts cardstock. I always got them in packages. Next, I'm going to add in the little pieces, just inlaying it with that same dark chocolate cardstock. There we go, using my little embellishment wand to pick up the pieces, just to make it easy. And I will hold it over for the ones that are stuck in there. Oops, and I didn't line that up very well, but you get the gist. And then we'll have two super cute paws to pop onto our card. So just adding them in. So these are really easy to put together. It's not such a big deal. So this one I'm going to line up the paw, and then I will, you know, push on those little pieces that were stuck in, and they went in perfectly, see? And I do weight it down. So next I'm going to pop up those paws with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, the big ones, as per usual. There we go. Now remember, you don't have to use these little animals for Safari. You could use them however you like. You could even make some of these with, you know, pastel colors. They'd make really cute baby cards, right? Isn't that cute? So that's on an A2 size card front, vertical and sideways. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to put together, this is going to be the little fox. And I cut that out of that same dark brown Bazzill cardstock, and I inked around the edges with some white daisy ink from Close to My Heart. It's just white pigment ink. Now I'm using some Rust American Crafts cardstock that I'm going to stick down onto that base that was American Crafts black cardstock that, you know, gets covered up. So I've got that Rust hat. And we're going to pop up his little feet with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, that same P13 stamping pad skin tones. Lining them up. There we go. So these are pretty easy to put together, pretty obvious. But like I said, I'm going to skip those eyes on the elephant. You could even use the little dots that it cuts out, cut out little tiny dots and use those if you want, you know, or an enamel dot or something like that. That would be fun. Or, you know, if you happen to be a Google eye lover, you can put one of those on. So now you see that's why I ink around the edges of the mustache and the beard, because see that mustache pops on the beard now. Otherwise, it all blends in as one color, right? So next I'm putting together the little fox tail cut out of American Crafts white cardstock and Rust cardstock. So I layer those together, and then I will stick that little tail down with a little bit of score tape. Oops. Got to make sure it sticks down first before I peel off the release paper. And there, we'll line it up. So now he's got a cute little fox tail. And then we have to add on his little ears, cut from that same American Crafts Rust cardstock, and then that same Paper Tray Ink Pale Peony cardstock. Remember, you could use any cardstock. They all work. You know, cut it out with your die cutting machine, whatever it is, and you're in business. You don't have to use what I use. So now I'm using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm going to pop up the top of the ear, but glue the bottom of the ear flat. So glue to the bottom, a little tiny dimensional to the top, and then I will line it up right there. Isn't that cute? And I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold it down. That's another good use for these little suckers. Okay, so I'm going to stick the next one down as well. And isn't that cute? It's just adorable, eh? I'm going to put him off to the side. So he's got a little fox to hold on to. So his little face is cut out of paper from that Die Cuts with a View Safari Kids Matstack. It's just kind of like a creamy colored beige. Next, I added it to the American Crafts Rust colored cardstock, just so it looks like a fox. Adding on paper tray or American Crafts white cardstock again for the tip. The little pink nose was cut from Pale Peony from Paper Tray Ink. I kind of used all the same pink. It just makes things easy when you're making everything at once. I'm going to add some glue again and try to get that nose down. There we go. Now the little eyes were cut out of American Crafts black cardstock, and they're tiny little dots. So I will be using my embellishment wand to pick them up. Same with the inside of the ears, cut from that Pale Peony again, using that embellishment wand again. You can see there's some stitch lines, so you know where they go. And now these are the tiny little dots, and we will get those stuck down again, like I said, with my embellishment wand. So I'm just adding those on. Oops. Adding just a tiny little dollop of glue, and then I will add my little eyes. And I just think these black little dots are super cute as eyes. That's why I think would look super cute on that elephant as well. Now I'm going to put together my little fox here. So I'm just going to add the tail. Then I'll add the little head next. There we go. And just lining everything up. Now I probably should have put the legs on next, but I put the little fur ruff next. You know, do as I say, not as I do. I would have added the legs first, looking back. So I'm going to add the little legs on, but I will bend it back to kind of fit it behind that fur. So it looks right. Now you can choose whether you want to use that base piece that I have cut out of American Crafts black cardstock with the spots for the little hands. If you want to use the hand placement where Jaded Blossom, you know, sort of chose to have them. Otherwise, you could choose your own hand placement. But there is the fox holding the little fox, or you could have just a little fox in your card. That's on an A2 size card base. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to be a follower over at the Jaded Blossom YouTube site and the Lee Kubinick YouTube site so you can see all the new videos as they come out. And, you know, stay tuned. There'll be lots more videos for this brand new release. Thanks, everybody. Bye.